Hey, welcome to the show. Today you're going to meet Maksym Tereshchenko of Mantis Analytics. Max has an incredible story. He's been in IT, big data for more than 2 decades. Now he's the CEO and founder of Mantis Analytics, Mantis Analytics. Definitely a great company to check out. Pull up on your open browser here while you're listening to learn a little bit more about how they're disrupting the analytics supply chain space, and also reducing fake news, spotting threats before they happen, all using AI. So it's quite powerful. Max, we're so thankful to have you on the show to share a little bit about your journey of building companies, building businesses. You've done incredible stuff. To kick us off, can you tell us, you've been in the trenches, can you tell us your number one actionable tip for founders and investors out there?
Hi Shane, absolutely. It's great to be here. Great to be to share my story, my experience, work that we do in Mantis. Okay, so first tip. I think from my journey with the Mantis, this tip is just build relationship, right? I think like relationship is the main capital now like for founder, right? Because from one perspective we like see like a lot of things just replaced by AI, a lot of agents like talking with agents and so on, but main decisions taken by people, right? And people should know you in this case. Like it doesn't matter what kind of level of automation we have in the world, but relationships still okay. So that's my perspective.
That's a great answer. Relationships with potential customers, relationships with potential employees. Relationships are, at the end of the day, honestly, what make life worth doing and living. And it's not always so easy when you're building a company. So, can you tell us a little bit more about your company and tell us a little bit more about who you are as a CEO?
Absolutely. So first of all, let's start from my background. I'm pretty technical founder. I'm an IT like more than 20 years. I started my career as a software developer. After that, I spent exactly half of my career in big corporation. Like at Deutsche Bank, AT&T, I was responsible for building like big data platforms and enterprise scale from idea to adoption. So I'm pretty clear. I just understand how the big corporations works and how you can navigate this complexity, right? But in the middle of my career, I decided. No, just I don't want to spend the whole my life in this environment. I want to have like much more dynamics. I want to have much more speed. I want to have much more impact, and I already have a lot of experience how to work with such kind of big companies. And I decided to move to the startups. And first of all, I worked like in several startups, mostly like Series A, Series B stage, but with the same focus, like enterprise related like big data analytical platforms. But in different industries, I worked in digital marketing, in big data analytics, in logistic and supply chain, and so on. So, and 2 years ago, I decided to start Mantis as a company. I think main motivation for me that's like global geopolitical situation that we entered like last years, how it's unpredictable, how it's changeable, and how the big impact of that to the companies in general, but specifically for the supply chain. So in this case, now we're in Mantis, we are building like simulation intelligence platform which help companies to make operational strategic decisions in a volatile geopolitical world.
There's so much going on in the world, and it's becoming increasingly hard to predict. And so I am really thankful for the work you're doing. And can you share a little bit about your experience? You're Ukrainian. Can you share a little bit about more deeply about like yourself and how that helps you as a founder now who previously worked in the enterprise?
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm originally from Ukraine, and now Ukraine in center of maybe one of the biggest conflict in the world history, I think, right? And it's a clear conflict between like dictatorship and democratic worlds, right? So now like we see that world like very polarized, right? And but also we can say that the Ukraine is a center of resilience and defense innovation. And latest example, for example, from Swarmer that successfully launched like a first IPO of defense stage company, which like was born in Ukraine. And we see now a lot of other Ukrainian companies, like initially Ukrainian companies that now like scale across the globe. It means that as Ukrainians, we have very strong expertise, practical expertise, how to build resilient technology. And I expect that a lot of like initially Ukrainian company will become like successful global companies next several years. We already see examples, but definitely it will be much, much, much more in next years.
And what kind of results? Let's talk about traction. I know you're also a very humble guy, so I guess don't be so humble right now. Can you tell me, like, can you share with us a little bit of the results of what Mantis has produced and done so far?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have, first of all, we achieve like a super like proven customers. We already work with the Ministry of Defense of UK, with the Canadian company CIE. It's a big aircraft companies from Canada. So we work with the trade associations. We have a lot of partners from intelligence companies. We also work with universities like Sam Houston universities, University House of Dallas, and so on. So we have different segments, but we have strong traction in every of these like segments. So it
That's
means that we, in terms of the stage of the company, so we early seed, right? And now we are preparing our company for the growth, for the scale, right? Because I think for our stage, we have very good attractions in the different segments. And now it's time just to scale that and make it like a scalable and predictable, like go-to-market machine, assuming all the demands that we have currently in the market, I think in connection with the situation.
And so for the investors, for the founders, for those who are just interested in startups that are listening to this, can you walk us through what are the steps as you enter this growth stage that you're going to take in order to grow? What are the specific steps you're envisioning are coming the next few months?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great question. So now our sales is mostly based on founder drive, right? So for example, I spend most of the time for sales. My co-founders also like spend a lot of time for the sales, and we already like for these 2 years we already know what works and what doesn't, and based on that, we need to build. Uh, Proper like fundamental for first go-to-market person that we will hire till the end of the year, right? Because we already have like a proven hypothesis, we already have proven interest. Now, how like the question how to make it scalable? What kind of channels we need to use? What kind of materials we need to provide? Um, how we need to outreach people, right? How we can use AI, for example, for go to market and sales, but in the right way, not to send like additional cold mails to people which already overwhelmed, right? So it's a lot of questions, right? And I think it's like generally like it's a really big question how startups can move from founder-driven sales to more predictable scale model.
That's great. And you've raised money at this point, right?
Yeah, so we already raised it around like 700K in pre-seed, and also recently we received a big equity-free non-dilutive grant from European Innovation Commission. It's a €500,000 specifically for scale our platform on European market. So in this case, we successfully now operate on both markets, on US market and European market, and we successfully like raise it on the both markets.
I feel like the Mantis rocket ship is like it's already left the launch pad. It's just like now it's about putting more fuel in the tank and positioning and aiming the rocket, for lack of a better metaphor, to the right direction to find that go-to-market person. There's a lot of different things that you're doing right now, Max. I want to ask you, what is the most difficult part about being a founder of a company at this stage?
Yeah, very right question, I think. And recently, I it's interesting. I think I shared it to you the stories that recently I talked with one of the VC, and they provide additional grant specifically for mental health, like supporting like mental health of the founder, right? So you can like hire coach or like even like membership in the gym, right? And I really like such kind of approach. It means that such kind of VC, and it's only one VC that I met during the like whole founder journey. That this like VC like really understand what does it mean to be a founder on early stage. And in this case, I think the mostly complicated things how to sort out all the stuff, because you should do operational things, you should do like a hiring, you should do fundraising, you should do sales and everything in the same time, how to structure your day in the proper way, how to properly define priorities, and how you can do everything in the same time. So that is like a main challenge for the founders in this time. And also you see like how the situation generally changing on the market, how like it's like a super intensive environment from different perspective, from AI development, from geopolitical situation, from everything. It's a super dynamic environment, like situation really changes like every day. Every day we wake up in new reality, new world, and you need to just adapt very quickly to this new reality. So I think that's is like two main challenges.
Yeah, it's like moving fast, but moving efficiently. There's so much changing in the world, and it can take a toll for sure on the mental well-being. I think, are you thinking of 11 Tribes?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
exactly,
Shout out Isaac and Jeff and Mark. I think that that's the fund that you're talking about. It's a pretty cool thesis of essentially like, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. It's like Max needs to invest in Max. That way he can invest in the business of Mantis to grow. It's like to
exactly.
pour out into your business, you also need to be poured into, whether by a coach or just going to the gym or some, et cetera. There's got to be more of a dynamic if I'm hearing you right.
Absolutely, totally agree. And I really recommend all we see to launch this practice. I think it's a really good move. So really recommend to any VC.
Oh, well, I've heard it's so interesting because like, you work in VC, you interact with other VCs, but you don't really see how they interact with other founders. And so I don't know if like how other VCs treat you. Like I honestly don't know. I like is it, are they generally really cutthroat and really like rude, or are they generally like they care about you as a person and thus they want to invest in your business because it's very much like a long-term relationship. I imagine it varies depending on who you're talking to and sort of what their story is as an investor.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very different approaches, very different theses, very different like focus, and so on. So it's like super diverse, right? But they think with caring about mental health of the founder. So it was like a first time.
Yeah, totally. And you mentioned this is a season that you're entering of scale and growth and go to market. For those who are listening, can you let us know who are the type of people that will benefit the most at this point from using Mantis at this point? Who are they?
It's a really interesting question because in Mantis we see like two models, two successful models how we can move forward like a go to market in our company. So first of all, it's a find like a right person in corporate world, right like find a champion, right? Because now, like we see like a huge transformation of IT. We see like AI adoption in corporations, but it will take time, right? It will not happen at like immediately because, as I say, like half of my career I worked in corporation. I saw like what's the like speed of innovation in such kind of big corporations. How slow is it, right? But from another perspective, they cannot ignore all the modern technology and so on, and they cannot ignore how everything is transformed, including decision-making process. Because we in the Mantis, we help companies do like a proactive decisions before disruptions happen. And we help them to do like proper AI powered strategic like planning of supply chain. In this case, for specifically for corporations, and we mostly focus it on mid-market companies. Like why mid-market? Because mm, they already have enough complexity to do like a strategic planning in volatile geopolitical world. But from another perspective, they don't have a lot of resources to accomplish that internally. And so in this case, they have like a very strong demand, and only the case to find this internal like champion who can like really move forward these things, right? Who can really fight this like internal bureaucracy and help us to bring this value, right? That we really can. And second model, which is also very good, that we operate as a mm, technology backend for consulting and intelligence company. Because now, like what we see in the market, that services became scalable with AI. So it's a specific term like AI powered scalable services. And for example, by prediction of Sequoia, next like terabyte company will be like service company, but which like actively use AI in the backend. So in this case, we build a partnership with such kind of companies because they already have proven records of customers, but they have a lack of technology. They have a lack of digital transformation. They have a lack of scalable revenue streams, and that's Mantis can help them to achieve, right? Because we can make their services like a scalable. We can help them to build additional streams of revenue, and we can help them to adapt to new reality that we live at the moment. And both models, I think, really works very good.
That's great. And so so just to summarize, there's a mid-market target. And so if you're working in a mid-market or if you're working in a consulting firm where you're struggling to scale, and I think traditionally before AI, consulting was like almost impossible to scale because you only have so many hours in the day.
Yes, so basically to scale, you need to hire more and more people, right? So it's but now to scale, you can create more and more agents, right? So definitely it's not like a simple stuff, but it's possible, right? It's
Yeah,
possible. So in this case, yeah, so we need to understand that we're in new reality. So now services, now consulting really became scalable thing.
it's great. And talking about scalable, and you talking a little bit about your story in Ukraine, obviously there's a lot, there's a war happening in Ukraine, and you are very much a great businessman, but also I know that you have a great heart. And I wanted to ask you, how can Mantis be used potentially for peace or for reducing the harmful impact of war?
Absolutely, and so it's not only question about Ukraine. There are like a lot of others, like very like I would say emergent like hotspots around the world. A lot of like escalations we see, and my predictions that still it will be like exploded and exploded more because I don't see any like positive signals for the de-escalation, right? So we see like a very big like polarization in the world and so on, right? And in this case, for us, like for human now, it's the main question how we can we use technology for peace, right? How we can use technology for good, right? How we can use technology for de-escalation and not for escalation of the conflict. And that's specifically what Mantis does, right? Because we can help companies and government organization be like more resilient, be more adaptable for changing situation. We help them to create like stable and resilient supply chain, which is like super important in the current situation. And this is like absolutely like clear impact how to make this world like more safe, more predictable from different perspective, from government perspective, from corporate perspective, from employee perspective, because what is really important to take right decisions, right? Because we cannot now like I don't think it's really possible to slow down this escalation from my perspective. But what we can do, we can be prepared for that. We can be proactive. We can take a right decision which can save lives, save companies, and so on.
That's what a powerful line. There isn't anything I could add to that. Um, so as you continue to grow, um, you're pitching at Demo Day, July 30th in Arlington for any VCs who want to come and see you pitch live. But also, um, I'm going to link Max's info. If you're an investor, definitely go to his website and reach out to him and connect with him on LinkedIn. Both are going to be available in the show notes. Max, what's next for you? Like, walk us through the next 30 days. What take us through what's in the pipeline for you, what's coming?
Yeah, so it's very good question. So first of all, we joined it like P-Stage Accelerator. So today it was a kickoff meeting, and I'm really excited about our cohort of the founders. Like everybody just with energy, passion, and so on. And I think it's very aligned to our stage and our focus for the next months. It's a go to market. It's a go to market because we have a lot of supportive factors which increase the demand for our solutions, right? So, for example, we already mentioned like several trends. It's like services became like scalable. We help consulting companies scale. A lot of interruption in terms of the supply chain and so on. So in this case, it's absolutely like right time for us to focus to go to market, to scale our pipeline, and bring a lot of value for the customers. So in this case, I'm super excited about the timing, about change that we can do at the moment from different perspective. In this case, yeah, just to focus on the next month's outreach, potential customers, also like develop relationship with existing customers, right? Because we work with pretty big organizations, we can scale internally, we can onboard new teams, we can launch like additional pilot projects. So it's like go to market, and go to market. That's like clear prior of my priority for the next months.
It's awesome. I really think that you nailed it of like your biggest growth in the next 3 to 6 months is going to come from the existing customers you have, but expanding those accounts as you continue to show your value and help make decisions more easy for these groups who are really having a hard time in a really volatile world, whether it's tariffs or whether it's another war or what else is going on out there. We don't even know what's coming next. And I think that's the power of Mantis is like if someone has the ability to log in and use it, they don't have to always guess all the time, which is what a lot of people are having to do now. And it's like you don't have to do that anymore. You can have answers and you can have resources at your fingertips and you can also scale it. So if you're a mid-market company or you're a consulting firm trying to scale, like definitely connect with Max about a pilot and get on his calendar and his team's calendar and check out what they have. I just was reviewing today a little bit of like your focus and who you're going to be serving, Max, and it's really, really exciting of the potential there just because there's so much disruption and it's almost like wherever there's disruption, there's an opportunity for improvement and there's an opportunity to help. So I think you're really in a great, great space. And I'm glad that you've got your focus on go to market. If there's anything that the audience can do to help you in the next couple months, other than, just supporting you and following the journey along, where else can the community here be helpful to what you're doing?
Yeah, so I think like what like a mission that we do in Mantis, it's just to help companies uh, to take like right decisions, be more proactive. Uh, we don't want to predict something, right? So we want to help companies to structure decision vectors and be ready before something like serious is happening. So and also like scale consulting businesses is also like uh, big shift right in the market which we can help accomplish because my prediction that uh, all the companies should start really serious and deep digital transformation now like without hype. I understand that a lot of hype now, let's say I will replace everybody, blah blah blah, but no, you need to just to like sit and create your strategy, right, for digital transformation and do it like take it seriously, right? And I think like everybody who just resonate with this mission, just please outreach me. I really like to talk with people, with potential customers, investors, like other founders. If this mission just resonates you, just outreach me. I answer every LinkedIn message that I have, right? Because I see like on the market that some people just don't answer now, but I answer because we started from that relationship is the main thing, right? You need to spend a lot of time to talking with people, meet each other, sharing vision, as that's only how we can be successful.
All right, let's go. Amazing. Well said. For those listening, share this with a friend. Get the word out about what Max is doing. Second, make sure you connect with Max on LinkedIn. Send him a message if you fit into any of those categories where he can help. And lastly, come see him pitch July 30th in Arlington, Virginia. If you're a VC or you're an investor, please come through to that. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out and we'll catch you in the next episode. Max, this was a great episode. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much.